The rain battered the windshield as Elena gripped the steering wheel, her knuckles white, her heart pounding louder than the storm outside. She was driving back to Willow Creek, the small Ohio town she swore she'd never return to. But Sam's voice on the phone last night, low, urgent, breaking, had unraveled her resolve. "I need you, Elle. Please." 10 years had passed since Elena left, since she'd buried the ache of her childhood best friend, Sam, the girl who'd always been her sun, her storm, her everything. They were inseparable back then. Two wild souls racing through cornfields, sneaking beers by the creek, laughing until their sides hurt. But Sam was always the alpha, bold, fearless, the one who'd climb the tallest tree or dive into the deepest water without a second thought. Elena, quieter, softer, followed her like a shadow, her heart tethered to Sam's reckless light. Now at 28, Elena was a graphic designer in Chicago, her life polished but hollow. The call had come out of nowhere, Sam's voice pulling her back across a decade of silence. Elena didn't know what she'd find in Willow Creek, but the tremor in Sam's words had ignited something primal, something she'd spent years trying to forget. The town appeared through the rain like a faded photograph. Same diner, same church, same narrow streets lined with maple trees. Elena pulled into the gravel lot of the old auto shop, where Sam said she'd be. The neon sign flickered, casting a red glow over the wet pavement. Elena's breath caught as she saw her. Sam leaning against the garage door, soaked to the bone, her blonde hair plastered to her face. At 29 she looked both older and exactly the same, sharp jaw, broad shoulders, that untamed energy in her blue eyes. "Elle," Sam said, her voice rough like she'd been shouting into the void. She stepped forward and for a moment Elena thought she might hug her. Instead, Sam stopped short, hands shoved in her pockets, a wall of tension between them. "What's wrong?" Elena asked, her voice barely above the rain. Sam's eyes flickered to Elena's neck, to the crescent-shaped birthmark just below her jaw, a mark Sam used to trace with her finger when they were kids, lying in the grass, dreaming of futures they couldn't name. "I didn't know who else to call," Sam said. It's complicated." Inside the shop, the air smelled of oil and metal. Sam handed Elena a towel, her fingers brushing Elena's for a split second, sending a jolt through her. They sat on a worn couch in the break room, and Sam began to talk. She'd stayed in Willow Creek, taken over her dad's auto shop after he passed. But something was eating at her, something she wouldn't say outright. Elena caught fragments. Debts piling up, a shady deal gone wrong, a name Marcus spoken with venom. "You're in trouble," Elena said, piecing it together. "What kind, Sam?" Sam's jaw tightened. "The kind that makes you wish you'd never stayed in this damn town." Elena wanted to push, to demand answers, but the weight of their history held her back. Instead, she reached out, her hand hovering over Sam's. "I'm here now," she said softly. "Whatever it is, we'll figure it out." Sam looked at her and for a moment the years melted away. Elena saw the girl who'd once kissed her behind the bleachers, a fleeting, desperate moment at 16 that neither had dared speak of again. The memory hung between them, heavy and unspoken, as the rain drummed on the roof. Over the next few days Elena stayed. She rented a room at the town's only motel, telling herself it was temporary, that she'd help Sam and leave. But every moment with Sam pulled her deeper. They worked side by side in the shop, Sam teaching Elena how to change oil, their laughter echoing like it used to. At night they'd sit on the shop's roof, sharing a bottle of whiskey, the stars above them sharp and endless. Sam's trouble, it turned out, was tied to Marcus, a local loan shark who'd lent her money to keep the shop afloat. He wasn't just after repayment, he wanted control, leverage, something Sam wasn't giving up. Elena saw the fear in Sam's eyes, but also the fire. The same defiance that had always defined her. "I can't let him win," Sam said one night, her voice low, her shoulder brushing Elena's under the starlight. "This shop, it's all I have left of Dad. Of me." Elena's heart ached. She wanted to protect Sam, to pull her away from this mess, but Sam was no damsel. She was a fighter, always had been. And yet, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that something deeper was at play. Something Sam wasn't telling her. One evening as they closed up the shop, Sam grabbed Elena's wrist, her grip firm but gentle. "Why'd you come back?" she asked, her eyes searching Elena's. "After all this time, why?" Elena's breath hitched. She could lie, say it was just to help, but the truth clawed at her throat. "Because it's you," she whispered. "It's always been you." Sam's face softened, and for a moment, Elena thought she might lean in, might close the distance that had haunted them for a decade. But then Sam let go, stepping back, her walls snapping back into place. "You shouldn't have come," she said, her voice breaking. "This town, it'll ruin you too." Elena didn't sleep that night. She lay in her motel bed, staring at the ceiling, her mind racing. Sam was slipping away, not just from her but from herself. And Elena knew with a certainty that terrified her, that she couldn't leave. Not now, not ever. The days blurred into a rhythm of grease-stained hands and stolen glances. Elena found herself waking earlier, eager to get to the shop, to be near Sam. The auto shop became their world. A sanctuary of clanging tools and quiet moments where their shoulders brushed, each touch electric, each silence heavy with things unsaid. But the shadow of Marcus loomed larger. Elena caught Sam on the phone one morning, her voice low and sharp, arguing about deadlines and payments. When she hung up, her hands shook, and Elena saw something new in her eyes: shame. "He's got me by the throat," Sam admitted later, over coffee in the break room. "I borrowed too much, Elle. I thought I could handle it." Elena's chest tightened. She wanted to fix this, to pull Sam out of the quicksand, but Sam's pride was a wall she couldn't scale. Instead, she offered what she could. Her presence, her time. They spent evenings poring over the shop's books, Elena's design-honed precision catching errors Sam had missed. They found small ways to cut costs, but it wasn't enough. Marcus wanted more than money, he wanted the shop, and he was playing dirty. One night, Elena found a note slipped under the shop's door, scrawled in black ink. "Pay up, or the town knows your secret." Sam's face paled when she read it, her fingers crumpling the paper. "What secret?" Elena asked, her voice steady despite the dread pooling in her stomach. Sam didn't answer, just shoved the note in her pocket and stormed out. Elena followed, catching her by the creek where they used to skip stones as kids. Sam stood there, staring at the water, her shoulders hunched. "He knows," she said finally, her voice barely audible. "About me. About who I am." Elena's heart stopped. She knew what Sam meant, had always known. Even when they were teens and Sam's bravado masked the truth. Willow Creek wasn't kind to people like them. Small towns rarely were. Elena stepped closer, her hand finding Sam's. "He can't use that against you," she said fiercely. "Not if you don't let him." Sam laughed, bitter and broken. "You don't get it, Elle. This town, it's my home, but it's also a cage. If Marcus outs me, I lose everything. The shop, my dad's legacy, my place here." "Then we fight," Elena said, her voice trembling with conviction. "Together." Sam looked at her, and for the first time, Elena saw vulnerability in those blue eyes, a crack in the alpha armor. They stood there, hands clasped, the creek murmuring beside them, and Elena felt the weight of their shared past pressing against the present. She wanted to kiss Sam to erase the fear, but the moment passed and Sam pulled away, muttering about needing to think. The next day, Elena found Sam in the shop's office, staring at a photo of her dad, a burly man with Sam's eyes. "He'd be ashamed of me," Sam said, not looking up. "Not for who I am, but for letting this place slip through my fingers." Elena knelt beside her, her hand on Sam's knee. "He'd be proud of you for fighting," she said. "And I'm proud of you too." Sam's eyes met hers and something shifted. A spark, a surrender. She leaned forward, her lips brushing Elena's, tentative at first, then desperate, like she was drowning and Elena was air. The kiss was everything, years of longing, fear. An unspoken love poured into a single moment. When they pulled apart, Sam's forehead rested against Elena's, her breath ragged. "I don't deserve you," she whispered. "You don't get to decide that," Elena said, her voice fierce. But the moment was fleeting. A car roared into the lot, headlights cutting through the dusk. "Marcus." He stepped out, all slick charm and menace, his eyes raking over Elena like she was an inconvenience. "Time's up, Sam," he said, tossing a contract onto the hood of his car. "Sign the shop over or I start talking." Elena's blood boiled. She stepped in front of Sam, her voice steady. "You don't scare us." Marcus smirked, his gaze lingering on Elena's birthmark. "Cute mark," he said, his tone dripping with malice. Wonder what else I'll dig up about you too. Sam grabbed Elena's arm, pulling her back. Don't, she hissed, but Elena saw the fear in her eyes, and it broke something inside her. She couldn't let Marcus win, not like this. That night, Elena couldn't sleep. She sat on the motel roof staring at the stars, her mind racing. Sam was fighting a war she couldn't win alone, and Elena knew she had to do something, anything to protect her. The birthmark on her neck itched, a reminder of who she was, who she'd always been. And then an idea began to form, reckless and dangerous, but hers. Elena woke with a plan, her heart pounding with equal parts fear and determination. She'd spent the night researching Marcus, digging through public records on her laptop, piecing together his empire of intimidation. He wasn't just a lone shark. He was a predator, preying on small businesses, using secrets as leverage. Elena knew they couldn't fight him with money or muscle, but maybe they could outsmart him. She found Sam in the shop, wrench in hand, her face set in grim resolve. I'm not signing, Sam said before Elena could speak. I don't care what he does. Elena took a deep breath. Then we hit him where it hurts. His reputation. Sam's brow furrowed. What are you talking about? Elena laid out her plan. They'd gather evidence of Marcus's shady deals, his threats, his blackmail. Willow Creek was small, but it had a newspaper, a gossip mill, and people who'd talk if pushed. Elena's design skills could craft a narrative. Anonymous flyers, social media posts, anything to expose Marcus without directly implicating Sam. It was risky, but it was a chance. Sam hesitated, her alpha instincts bristling at the idea of playing defense. This could backfire, she said. If he finds out it's us. He won't, Elena promised, her voice steady. We're smarter than him. They spent the next few days working in secret. Elena interviewed shop owners under the guise of a freelance journalist, her recorder catching stories of Marcus's coercion. Sam, meanwhile, used her charm to coax information from old high school friends, some of whom had fallen into Marcus's orbit. They uncovered a pattern. Marcus lent money at predatory rates, then used personal secrets, affairs, addictions, identities, to trap his victims. One night, as they sorted through notes in the shop, Elena felt Sam's gaze on her. You're different, Sam said softly. Braver than I remember. Elena's cheeks warmed. You make me brave, she admitted, her fingers brushing the birthmark on her neck. Sam's eyes followed the movement, and for a moment, the air crackled with possibility. But then Sam's phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. Last chance. Tomorrow or everyone knows. The threat hung over them like a storm cloud. Elena pushed forward, designing a flyer that laid out Marcus's crimes in stark, anonymous terms. They printed hundreds, slipping them under doors and into mailboxes under the cover of night. By morning, Willow Creek was buzzing. People whispered in the diner, at the gas station, in church pews. Marcus's name was poison. But Marcus wasn't stupid. He showed up at the shop that afternoon, his face a mask of rage. You think you're clever, he snarled, tossing a crumpled flyer at Sam. You and your little girlfriend here. Elena's heart raced, but she stepped forward, her voice steady. You don't get to bully this town anymore. Marcus laughed, cold and cruel. You're playing a dangerous game, sweetheart. That mark on your neck? Makes you easy to find. Sam lunged, but Elena grabbed her arm, pulling her back. He's baiting you, she whispered. Marcus smirked and left, but his words lingered, a chill settling over Elena. Her birthmark, once a quiet part of her, now felt like a target. That night, Sam and Elena sat by the creek again, the water reflecting the moon. Sam's hand found Elena's, their fingers intertwining. I'm scared, Sam admitted, her voice raw. Not of Marcus, but of losing you. Again. Elena's throat tightened. She leaned in, kissing Sam softly, then fiercely, pouring everything into it, her fear, her love, her resolve. When they pulled apart, Elena whispered, You won't lose me. Not this time. But the next morning everything changed. Elena woke to a voicemail from an unknown number. You're next, Elena. Better cover that mark. Her blood ran cold. Marcus wasn't just after Sam anymore, he was coming for her too. The voicemail played on repeat in Elena's mind, each word a shard of ice. She didn't tell Sam, not yet. Sam was already a live wire, pacing the shop, her fists clenched as she planned their next move. Elena watched her, torn between love and fear, knowing that protecting Sam meant facing Marcus head-on. They doubled down on their plan, spreading more flyers, leaking tips to the local paper. The town was turning against Marcus. Whispers became accusations, and a few brave shop owners came forward with their own stories. But Marcus wasn't going down quietly. He started showing up everywhere. Outside the diner, at the motel, his car idling in the shop's lot late at night. Each time his eyes locked on Elena's birthmark, a silent threat. Elena began to feel exposed, her neck itching under his gaze. She'd always loved her birthmark, a crescent moon she and Sam used to call her lucky charm. Now it felt like a beacon marking her as a target. She started wearing scarves, turtlenecks, anything to hide it, but the weight of Marcus's threat pressed heavier each day. One evening, as they locked up the shop, Sam noticed. "Why do you keep covering your neck?" she asked, her voice sharp with worry. Elena hesitated, then told her about the voicemail. Sam's face darkened, her alpha energy surging. "I'm going to kill him," she growled, grabbing her keys. "No," Elena said, stepping in front of her. "That's what he wants. To push you into doing something stupid." Sam's eyes blazed, but she stopped, her shoulders slumping. "I can't lose you, Elle," she said, her voice breaking. "Not because of me." Elena took Sam's face in her hands, forcing her to meet her gaze. "We're in this together. But we need to be smart." They devised a new plan. Bait Marcus into exposing himself. Elena used her design skills to create a fake document. A forged contract suggesting Marcus was double-dealing with a bigger player out of Cleveland. They leaked it to one of his associates, knowing it would spark paranoia. Sure enough, Marcus took the bait, confronting the associate in a public shouting match at the town bar. The fight was caught on video, shared across social media, and suddenly Marcus's empire began to crumble. But victory came at a cost. Late one night, Elena found her motel room ransacked. Clothes torn, laptop smashed, a note pinned to the pillow. "Nice try. You can't hide that mark forever." Her hands shook as she called Sam, who arrived in minutes, her face pale with fury and fear. "We need to end this," Sam said, her voice low. "Now." Elena nodded, but her mind was elsewhere. She'd been researching something drastic, something she hadn't told Sam about. A procedure to remove her birthmark. It was extreme, but if it kept Marcus from targeting her, from using her to hurt Sam, it might be worth it. She found a doctor in Cleveland, a specialist in cosmetic surgery, and booked a consultation in secret. The next day, as they prepared to confront Marcus with the evidence they'd gathered, Elena's resolve wavered. She looked at Sam, laughing as she fixed a carburetor, and her heart ached with love. Could she erase a part of herself, a part Sam had always loved, to keep them safe? That night, they met Marcus in an empty lot behind the shop, a recorder hidden in Elena's pocket. Sam laid out the evidence: bank records, witness statements, the forged contract. "It's over," she said, her voice steady. "Turn yourself in, or this goes to the police." Marcus laughed, but his eyes were wild, cornered. "You think you've won?" he spat. "I'll drag you both down with me." He lunged at Elena, his hand grazing her neck, but Sam was faster, tackling him to the ground. The fight was brutal, fists flying, until Elena pulled Sam off, her heart pounding. Marcus scrambled to his feet, bloodied but defiant, and disappeared into the night. The aftermath was quiet, too quiet. Marcus vanished, but the town was alive with his downfall. The newspaper ran a front-page story, shop owners came forward, and the police began an investigation. Sam's shop was safe for now, but the cost weighed heavily on Elena. Her motel room, her birthmark, her sense of safety, all felt violated. She told Sam about the consultation, about her plan to erase the birthmark. Sam's face crumpled, her voice raw. "Why would you do that? That mark, it's you, Elle. It's us." Elena's eyes filled with tears. "Because I'm scared," she admitted. "Not just of Marcus, but of what this town does to us. I thought if I could erase it, maybe we'd be free." Sam took her hand, her thumb brushing the birthmark gently. "You don't need to change who you are to be free. We'll find another way." They did. Elena moved to Willow Creek permanently, renting a small house near the shop. She and Sam rebuilt not just the business but their lives. They faced the town's whispers head-on, holding hands in public, daring anyone to challenge them. Some turned away, but others, friends, neighbors, stood by them. Their love a quiet rebellion against Willow Creek's small-mindedness. The doctor's appointment came and went. Elena didn't go. Instead, she stood in front of a mirror, tracing the crescent on her neck, and saw not a target but a symbol of her strength, her history with Sam. She chose to keep it, to keep herself. One evening, under the same stars where they'd kissed as teens, Sam proposed. Not with a ring but with a promise, a life together no matter what. Elena said yes, her heart full, her fears quieted by the woman beside her. Years later, they'd tell their story to their daughter, a girl with Sam's blue eyes and Elena's quiet strength. They'd talk about the shop, the fight, the love that carried them through. And when their daughter asked about the mark on Elena's neck, they'd smile and say, "That's where Mommy's courage lives." Their love wasn't just a rebellion. It was a revolution, a testament to the power of standing unashamed in who you are. And as they sat on their porch, hands entwined, Willow Creek stretching out before them, Elena knew they'd won far more than a fight against a lone shark. They'd won each other. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe to get notifications about next videos.